Welcome, everybody, to episode
Hi.
21 of the Fast and the Furious NetflixWeekly.com.
There's a little bit more than that, but sure.
Net and the weekliest.
We have to finish
yes,
our Katla stuff too, Rob.
It's true. So welcome to Netflix Weekly. I am Rob. With me, as always, is
Bill, and I'm the Phil Online on Twitter and just about anywhere else. I don't really use Twitter that often, really. Don't know why I said that.
I don't remember any of my names on anything except Instagram.
Yeah, not Rob Price on Twitter. We just
it's not Rob Price on Twitter?
We're going through this every time.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to check anyway. I said also I was going to go and check. Some person put a huge fucking diatribe against me. Excuse me. Said on Reddit. I didn't go bother to read it. I don't care enough. But all right, honorable mentions because we got a lot of shit to talk about.
First, just make it quick. But how did your second shot go? Your COVID?
That's right. Yep, I got my second shot. 2 days ago now?
You Monday afternoon. The COVID into your arm.
You know what? I got home. I did it at like I think 1:30, and I came home and I was fine. No arm was sore, but about I want to say 2 hours after I got it, my mind just started to space out. Like I just got super lightheaded and couldn't concentrate on anything to the point where I just kind of laid down on my desk and I think I passed out for about 5 minutes. And then I got up and I just, told my team, I'm like, guys, I'm fucking right out of it. I'm gonna go lay down. So I just walked, over there to my movie room, fell asleep. Oh, and there's my ticker running behind me. See everybody? I just passed out in my movie room, passed out for about 4 or 5 hours and woke up. And even yesterday, just kind of a general malaise. I felt fine enough, but just kind of worn out. But yeah, now today I'm feeling fine. It was only those 2 days I just kind of felt kind of shitty.
Well, we pretty much went through the same thing. So I was out of it and I wanted to sleep and I did.
Did you do Pfizer and Moderna?
Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, apparently they're calling it the Canadian cocktail because that's what a lot of people are getting. Pfizer and then
we're all gonna get like mutant genes now.
Hey, that's all right with me. I don't have any genes that fit anyway.
My magneticism did not clue in yet.
My magnates. I do have animal magnetism. That I still have. Because I watched that documentary Zoo. There's only a few people out there going to get that one. All right, so honorable mentions.
Do you have any?
I watched. The fuck did I watch? No, nothing of note. I tried yesterday watching The Godfather 2 because I got it in 4K, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and watch Godfather 2. And I'm sitting down to watch it, and then 10 minutes into it, my youngest son comes in. Dad, what are you watching? What's this movie about? What are they? I said it's about a family. Oh, are they a family? What kind of family? They're a crime family. What kind of crimes do they commit? Just all sorts of crimes. What else sorts of crimes? Also, I drew this character, and he's half octopus. He's half shark. I'm like, fuck. Well, turn this off. Like, there's no point when you have children. There's no point to try to focus on something that you really want to enjoy because they're children and they're gonna ruin it. But yeah, I got no honorable mentions in.
I have two. One is Birdgirl. It's one of those Cartoon Network adult cartoons. Along the lines of like Meat Boy and Straw Thing. I didn't watch that one, but
Meat Boy and Straw Thing.
Meat Boy is the right term. They're not
high on my to-watch list.
The Straw Boy one, that's not right. But Birdgirl is about this crime-fighting CEO. Just to manage her company while fighting crime. And it's silly. It's adult humor. It's funny.
Is it woke? Is it pro-feminism?
Sure. I think they all are these days.
They have to be.
The other thing I watched was the Tomorrow War, or just Tomorrow War.
Oh no!
It was good, but the ending, yeah, it was good. it was good throughout, but it fell apart in certain aspects, and it was just like, why do you think this way? This is a stupid way of thinking. You should clue in and be like, hello, the future hasn't happened yet. Anyway, that's all.
It
I
looks
didn't
that
spoil
movie.
anything.
It looks so painfully generic. When I
It is
saw the
kind
trailer
of
for it, I'm like,
generic. Yeah.
oh god, like another. And I'm to the point now with movies like that. I'm like, I don't even care. I'll just go back and watch fucking cartoons or TV shows from 30 years ago instead of watching these because I just don't give a shit about them.
You
Know?
can tell it was made for theaters, but would not have done so well if not for COVID. Like it just wouldn't have done
Would have
well
been like a
either way.
January movie.
Even so, it just would have been. It's kind of like lower rung than the other one that's coming out by that same actor. That Beta, is it Beta? No, it's the last
Same
name.
actor. There's another Chris Pratt movie coming out.
Yeah, yeah. He's.
Oh, I know. The only
Is it
one I know
Chris
that he's coming
Pratt?
out the Dominion.
Maybe it's not Chris Pratt. Maybe it's someone else. So where is it? NPC. Is that someone else?
Oh, the good guy.
Oh, that's Ryan Reynolds, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's you know how that's probably going to be. Who cares? Forgotten about. It'll be fine. It'll be fine for what it is.
Watchable. Yeah.
This one's watchable, but it's like one rung lower because it didn't have enough of a budget, and it didn't have enough of a good script writer. It had some fall apart moments that it's just like
serious logic holes.
Yeah, not even like logic holes, but more so like I know why you're thinking this way. Emotions are getting in the way, but really think about time. It's I can't say too much without giving it away. People should watch it just for fun if they're into sci-fi movies.
Fun.
But
you said that to me in regards to Fast and the Furious, and I did not have a lot of fun.
Well, that's we'll get into that. But that's it for honorable mentions.
Well, hold on. I just realized I did watch one thing, and it was the Corridor episode where they talked about the guys who do work on The Mandalorian.
Oh, you watched some Corridor. Cool.
I did, yeah. And it was really cool. I never realized that they use LEDs in the background, LED screens for The Mandalorian.
Oh, you didn't know about the what
I didn't know. I thought it was all entirely green screen. And arguably, I guess it is green screen, but it's done with LEDs. And it's fascinating how they do it. So if you haven't seen it yet, just look up Corridor and Mandalorian.
Yeah, they can
see how if you're a big Mandalorian fan, it's really fascinating.
It's kind of like live green screening because you can get a semblance of what's going on in the background.
Well, what I liked is they're talking about the scene where they're talking to Werner Herzog's character about the child, and if there's like a huge case in the background that they don't like the green color it is, they can instantly change it to fucking red. They can move it over to the other side of the room, all live, because it's all on a screen behind them. It was fascinating.
And then they can fix other things in post, so it's great.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Everyone should go watch Corridor Digital. They have 2 channels. They have at least 2 channels, I think. That one, which they talk about, like they have CG people come on the show. They have stunt people come on the show. They have cartoonists come on the show, and they talk about their own stuff plus other people's stuff, and pick it apart in like good and bad ways. So I really love it.
Yeah, I was really interested in this one. They discussed the CG of the Mowgli movie, the Lion King movie, and mainly because of Jon Favreau being part of the Lion King and being part of the Jungle Book. And these guys argued that CG for animals really peaked with Jungle Book, and Mowgli and Lion King that came after it had a bit of uncanny valley effect. And I never saw the Mowgli movie directed by Andy Serkis, but I do totally agree. Because they were doing mocap for all the actors while they were, in mocap suits to do the animals, they left human eyes on the animals. So all the animals have human eyes, and it is extremely disturbing.
You get used to it.
I remember, I don't know, I never saw the Jungle Book, but I absolutely agree that the Lion King was a humongous bore. I remember we went to the theater and watched it, and I was so bored, and I'm sure, this looks great and it's amazing, but I was bored to tears. And the Jungle Book,
missing emotions.
Yeah,
Like
and that's what it was. It was just
facial
missing
reactions.
emotions.
Yeah, it's like
And
you are boring me because you look bored in the scene.
well, I think for me, with Lion King, you're boring me because I know that you're supposed to be real, but you're not real, and I've already seen the story, and I was far more emotionally involved in the original than I am in you. And so it's almost like watching a highlight reel of, hey, isn't it nice how we did these pretty special effects? Like, yeah, but special effects are only going to get you so far. And when you think of the original, not original, I'm sorry, the John Favreau's Jungle Book, it was passable. It was pretty good. It was far better than Lion King. I'll give it that. And it's interesting, on that same vein. Remember, Disney was effectively going to remake everything, all of their original older stuff.
Yeah.
Lion King came out. I believe there was another one, or Jungle Book. Sorry, Lion King. I believe. Oh, sorry, that's my phone.
Not the Mario Brothers. They don't own that.
No, there was
Mulan.
They did Mulan, and
Mulan was good.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it. Yeah, it was good. It was adequate.
It wasn't great. It was good.
Better. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I put it that way. I know Cinderella. I believe they have a live action Cinderella, or it's going to be coming out live action Cinderella. But again, I think a lot of those plans got scrapped with COVID, where they were going to whole bunch of shit was going to come out, and a lot of that was just thrown out.
Yep. So,
but all right,
Katla.
Let's talk about Katla. I loved it. Loved the way that it ended.
Really?
Loved it. Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. I disagree with how you think that it was set up for a sequel. I think the ending, where you see like effectively people coming out of the mist.
We're going to go right to it.
Not even people. Yeah. Because we got a lot to talk about with Fast and Furious. I think when oh Christ, it's been so a while since I watched it. The sister, there's Asha and her sister. Can't remember our main character. She effectively asked the double of herself. She's like, "Why do you exist?" And she says back to her, she goes, "Why do you exist?" And she goes, "Your husband, he's happy, or our husband, he's happy. I haven't seen him like this in a while." And then she's talking to her the farmer guy, the guy who's having to cut the cows' throats and all that type of shit. I think that's her husband, if I remember. But she's effectively, they're discussing, and he's like, she says it's almost like these replacements are the better versions of ourselves. Like they didn't make the mistakes, or they haven't. They don't have the hangups that we do. You know what I mean? Like the Asha replacement. Asha died. Her sister killed herself, right? She died under the thing. The new one doesn't have that hang up. She's just going to go away. The couple whose son, he died. And he also says, Helic, the girl, and Derry, I believe is the guy's name. Oh, Raquel, sorry, Rachel, him, Derry and Rachel. Their son basically is a bit of a psychopath. Their little murder boy who burnt down the school and then slashed the throats of people. And he says, Derry says, like, I think these things that are coming back are just made from our memories, made from the best parts of our memories. And
I think he said also it's a manifestation of what they want.
Yeah,
and
what they want it to be.
Clicked in with me, because that makes more sense in terms of she wants to be happy. She wants to be there for her husband. She wants to be the happier person she was, but she can't bring herself to do that. So this is why at the end she goes, okay, you're the one that needs to stay because you're the happier me.
Yep. And I liked how Derry said, like, he's what we remember of him. I mean, Derry remembers that the kid was a psychopath. You know what I mean? Yeah. That he had some serious problems, and that kid just became more of that. And it's terrible to say, but it was, and I think that's why they made it this way. It's a very strange thing for drowning the imposter of the son that you loved, bringing you together as a couple, because effectively that's what they have to do. They have to drown the imposter, and they do it together because the husband, Derry, makes her understand that this is not him. Let's keep the memory of him and kill this imposter.
What a weird choice to not do, like bringing the kid back as like a joyous kid, but I guess that makes sense in terms of they would definitely not accept the kid because this isn't their son if it
Yeah.
has a different mindset.
And that's what got me thinking that all the people, and maybe I'm totally wrong because the boy came back and he was pure evil, but like Ash's double comes back and she doesn't want to commit suicide. She effectively doesn't know what she is or who she is. The her sister, who is the main protagonist of the whole story, she comes back and her double makes her husband happy. So she's like, well, I want my husband to be happy, so he should stay with my double instead of me. The Grunhild, the girl that comes back, she still loves Tor, and so she's going to stay with.
I think
with
that's Tor's mental.
Yeah, he
thing.
wishes he had stayed with her. He wished that
Mhm.
that hadn't all fallen apart. So I got into thinking that these people that are coming back that you see coming out of the mist are kind of the replacements that don't have the hangups that they do. That's what I saw it as. I may totally be fucking wrong, but that's how I chose to end it. And I think it ended on a very open note.
So sorry, what I missed that. You said the people that are coming out of the mist at the end are
The better versions of the people that are there that have problems. So like the husband, Ash's sister's husband, who he's happy now with his replacement wife. What if the replacement wife isn't happy with him? So a better version of him is coming out.
You're just proving my point. It's a setup for season 2.
I don't think it would be, because it doesn't need to be a season 2 though.
Why would you even have anything?
Why not? What would you end it as? I mean, an ending's an ending.
That's perfect. It's perfect for a season 2. But if you didn't have a season 2, if you were doing a one season thing, which is very unlikely, like there's certain things that are one season, but very rarely. And in this case, they'd want to put something in there so that they could go, okay, if we're picked up for season 2, we have that little clincher that people are wondering about. And you
I guess I could only see
out.
season 2. I could only see season 2 as a rehash of season 1, unless they chose to do something much different with it. You know what I mean?
They could go the route of what's its face, the other crate. Yeah, go the route because Dark just goes all entwined. Like they could entwine again and do exactly what you just said, where it's like the other people that didn't get copies of them get copied.
It could be, yeah, but either way, I enjoyed the first season. I thought it was very impressively done, well written, well acted. I just enjoyed it all. All episodes I enjoyed.
I'm surprised because I thought the ending would throw you off in terms of it being like more of like an emotional ending, like not emotional ending, more of a metaphorical ending, like that kind of thing, instead of like a clear answer.
See, I'm my wife is the one that needs the clear answer ending. I prefer the open ending. I always like open endings, and I love emotional. I mean, movies are supposed to be emotional. You're supposed to get emotionally invested in them, but an emotional ending that earned it. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than a movie that tries to be emotional that has not earned it. Case in point, the movies that we're about to talk about. But with Katla, it absolutely earned what it got to. Like, and if you need an example, again, I know I always go back to Star Wars, and I forever will. But the best example of something that is not earned is the love between Anakin and Padme. It's like, oh, you're good looking. Yeah, I'm good looking too. Hey, let's go to a planet. Hey, we're in love. Hey, let's get married. You're like, nope.
Well, that was
not how that goes.
Perfect example of trying to fit everything in and not having any story line,
nothing earned.
Yeah,
like, why are these two in love? Oh, because they're both attractive. Like, no,
because they happen to be there at the time.
Yeah, exactly. If you find a good looking woman, you're, I'll marry you.
Fine. Yeah, there's an age gap, but whatever. We all have age gaps.
Right. Pedophilia, it's not just a guy thing. But all right, on to Katla. I'm go for Katla.
Yeah, I'm go for season 2. I would watch it.
Yep.
And I think season 1 should be watched by everyone, just like
Agreed.
That other show I always keep on forgetting the name of.
And it's only one fucking word. I can't believe, how can you be
Dark? There we go.
Dark.
I don't know. I have a mind that's so weird. I'll remember like the smallest tidbits, but then I will forget the easiest things.
Yeah, I'm like that with, like, my wife would be like, how can you remember like the fucking, the name of the officer, the first admiral that Vader killed in Empire Strikes Back, but then every now and then you forget your age. I'm like,
It's
I don't
written
know. It's
on
just
your butt, like
the important shit that stays there.
tattoos.
All right, so let's
Yeah.
talk about our. God, my nose itching me. Too much cocaine. Let's talk about our features. So we were planning. So
I'm letting you lead. Go for it.
let's talk about how the in my notes. I had a new note about every. I want to say about every minute of this movie. So we'll be able to talk about what happens in the movie just based on what I was annoyed by. Now I will set up this. So we talked about we wanted to watch Fast Night. I've never seen any of the Fast Furious movies. I'm like, all right, I'll commit to watching all of the Fast and the Furious so we can watch Fast and Furious 9 and I have an idea what's going on. Because I don't think it would be as interesting if I had no idea what was going on. Fast and Furious was definitely not for me. I'm not a car guy. I'm not a bro guy. So this was not at all for me. Having said that, I will say one positive about these movies. The only one I could come up, well, two technically because the girls are hot, but I think that kind of goes just without saying with this type of movie. Paul Walker is having the time of his fucking life in these movies. And it is almost impossible not to get kind of giggly and happy when you see Paul Walker having a ball because he's in this car and he's smiling. He's like, ha ha, wee. He is loving it. And it was hard not to get wrapped up in that. Everything else is miserable. But Paul Walker, he was the only reason I kept on watching him and the girls. But he was really the only reason I kept on watching because he was having so much goddamn fun.
Not Vin Diesel?
It's like watching. What's that?
Not Vin Diesel.
Well, I'll get to that. But Paul Walker, you know when your kid is like giggling like crazy when they're young, and you're like, oh man, I can watch this forever. That was Paul Walker in this movie. He's a dummy who's having so much goddamn fun. But okay, so this first movie starts, The Fast and the Furious, right out of the gate. So here are my notes. I'm going to verbatim read my notes. Okay. I immediately don't understand. Why does the rig that is being stolen not just stop? Because in the start of the movie, they're trying to rip off a big rig that's carrying a bunch of Panasonic VCRs and DVD players because it's 2001.
Wasn't that something? Just did you not like look at that truck full of electronics and been like, those are like $1 a piece now? Like they don't exist.
Value Village for $6.
Exactly.
But it was also like, why does he not just stop? With all the shit that's happening, he doesn't just stop. And I was like, that would solve your entire problem. But regardless,
I think the idea is the known idea is that they're pirates and that they could just kill you and make off with the stuff.
Okay, but you could like run away.
But that's what he's doing.
I mean, but again, I just the way it carried out that whole scene to me, I'm like, just stop. If they rob you, they rob you. But at least there's no chance of you getting killed while going at fucking 60. No. I mean, going at 60 miles per hour and getting obliterated by crashing your truck. Yeah, they might shoot you or whatnot. But I was like, stop the truck.
That's easy for you to say. Yeah, they might shoot you. Yes, that's the point. That's why he's going away.
I'd rather be shot than risk fucking killing myself in a fucking rig going 60 miles per hour.
You'd rather guarantee your death rather than hopefully survive it.
How would you hopefully survive if you're in a rig that's got a full trailer on the back? If you crash,
you get away
going that fast, you are very likely dead.
If you get away, I think
there's more chance of you surviving being pulled over and pirates saying, we're going to steal your whole fucking truck. And you're like, okay, take it. It's all insured. Bye. And they fucking take it. That's fucking easier to me. But all right, I digress. Also, 7 minutes into this movie, already 3 soundtrack songs. So I'm like, oh God, it's going to be a ton of music and bad music throughout this whole movie. So the audio mix.
I did notice something is that the bad stunt driver reactions.
Oh, I got some notes on extras and stunt drivers.
Oh, I love extras in these movies. These old school movies when they didn't really care about what the extras were doing at the time.
And the extras are like, I want you to know that that's me. So they do everything over the top that they can. So the next thing, the audio mix in this movie, it sucks. The music is super loud. The cars are super loud, but dialogue is super quiet.
I hate
So-
movies like that. It's
oh,
like it's what's his face that does this all the time. Known for it.
Christopher Nolan, I think.
Nolan or Snyder. I think they both.
Oh,
do
is that? I don't know. I'm rarely listening to the dialogue in his.
It's probably Nolan that I'm thinking of.
Nolan does it, yeah.
And it's just like it's too much. It's like I can we not have a mid-level? Can we not can we not have better like in the theaters? Yes, I get it. It makes sense. You can hear everything. You don't mind having your eardrums. I live in an apartment. I can't have. Oh, okay. Now I can hear the audio.
Yep.
No.
And it's like dun, 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 dun. I'm like, Jesus Christ, calm down with this music.
Same thing happened.
Also,
I was watching Loki, the most recent episode from yesterday, and it just kept going. It didn't. I don't remember doing it this much, but it kept on going for like.
They want everyone to wear headphones moving forward.
Yeah.
But all right, so they're in front of Dom Tortellini's shop or restaurant or whatever the fuck it is. One person says to the other person, and this was an actual line of dialogue, Jesse, your fuel map has a nasty hole. And I'm like, oh man, we're going to be hearing a bunch of, they're going to pretend that it's puns, but this leads into my next comment. Three reasons this movie's not made for me. I like real rap music. And when I say real rap music, I mean old fogey rap music like Run DMC, NWA, old school Beastie Boys, stuff like that.
Organized
even
rhyme.
Eminem, I can give a pass. Yeah, exactly. And where it took real talent to rap like that. New mumble rap, new movies where they rhyme, bitches with fish hooks, like bitches with bitches, or mo money with mo money. It's garbage. And that's what the music in this was. So I like real rap music. I'm too comfortable with my heterosexuality. That's what.
Rob, you're gonna have the Kingston Reddit rapper scene all up in your business.
They're gonna be on my grill, dog.
Yeah.
But I'm too comfortable with my heterosexuality. And three, while my penis is not humongous, it's at least above average, which I could say is not the case for fans of this franchise. And the reason I say this is I didn't think it would come so early, but there was the other F word for speaking about gay people or gay men specifically.
Oh yeah,
right out of the gate, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I thought it was going to take a bit longer to get to this.
But I turned to my wife and like that wouldn't happen now. It's just we can't use that terminology unless it's a serious movie.
But it fucking rolls off the tongue so easily for these guys that you can tell this is something that's said several times a day. And the guy with the beard, hairy guy with the beard with a mesh tank top on, I'm like, there's no chance that you guys don't see what you're doing. This is Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 all over again. You know exactly what you're fucking doing. You know all the gay stereotypes and gay undertones in this movie. You're just thinking that your audience doesn't notice them. And me, look at him, fucking so angry, I'm shaking my camera. Me being,
I feel it too.
Being comfortable enough in my heterosexuality, I was like, dude, these guys are just get it over with and kiss each other. Like, holy fucking shit, guys, give me a break. Also, this is what would happen. This movie is what happens if Limp Bizkit made a movie at the height of their success, because that is what it looks like. It looks like a fucking Limp Bizkit video. The fucking clothes and the fucking baggy pants and the bro, are you down, bro? What's going on, bro?
Oh, speaking of which, Lord. In the second one, which we'll talk about next, I think that's one of his songs are in there.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think it was the second one. One of them. I know Roland was in there.
Also, I wondered, does Michelle Rodriguez know that she's a lesbian? Because
she is bisexual, Rob.
Oh, is she bisexual? I'm sorry, I thought she was a full-blown lesbian.
It doesn't matter because we should all be sexual fluid.
But what's funny is I applaud her. She's not a very good actress, but I applaud her ability to, one, pretend to be attracted to Vin Diesel. That had to be fucking really hard.
He actually did have a thing with Vin Diesel, and it's currently, they're like best friends. But I always wonder if there's like an arrangement, and like arrangements are always fine, But
I'm
I always wonder these things. It's because like I've seen them on Instagram and they're pretty close.
I get the vibe that Vin Diesel is a very and I know this is the meme thing, but I get the feeling he's a very family oriented guy. Like
I
he
think so, yes.
people he's worked with a lot become very close to him, which is great. I'm not saying anything bad about Vin Diesel himself. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy,
Considering how
but
he still reacts to Paul Walker's death, yes, yeah.
yeah, but I that to me, and this is something I was going to save to discuss when we're far later into this terrible series. I see that as very money driven, but that's something we can say. I'll watch all these movies and see if I still feel the same. But I got a shit ton of notes, so we got to get through these. I'm fairly certain this movie was written by a 14-year-old boy who had just felt a set of boobs for the very first time and then was given 14 Red Bulls and then sat in front of a typewriter.
Most
Because
script writers are, so at
no
least back
word of a
then.
lie, the dialogue, I could not write down all the dialogue because I wanted to. It's Vapid is giving it too much credit. It's mind numbing. It's like, yo, bro, you're gonna race that 420, bro. You know you got that NOS in it, bro. You know I'm gonna run NOS, bro. That's right. Then they fist bump.
They knew
It,
who they were trying to go after in this movie for like an
I,
audience.
I guess. I guess. I, I mean, clearly, yes. So not. I guess. Yes, that's certainly true. I'd never known any guys like this. I'd seen them made fun of, but I've never known any people like this. So to me, I was amazed to watch it. I'm like, shit, there's people like this. And clearly, let's get this out of the way. And it was funny. I was talking to a coworker of mine who fucking loves these movies. And I said, clearly, I am the minority. So don't think that you've got to defend your position on this movie. I am the minority who thinks these are dumb. And I'm willing to bet, I'm not going to say yay or nay, but I'm willing to bet by the eighth one, I might be won over because the ending of two
Yeah.
I started coming around to how stupid this is.
That the fact that these movies go more so like instead of trying to do storyline, which this is very trying. Exactly. They are completely like, fuck it. We'll have a baseline storyline. Oh, we just become heist movies now with lots of car action.
Yeah, sure.
That's all they are now. And it's great. People love it.
And it was nice of the cops to wait until the race was over. Dominic Tortellini got to have his victory speech, and then the cops show up. So they put down fucking roadblock signs. In the first movie, they put down pylons, which I thought was funny. And then the second movie, they've upgraded to roadblock signs to say, hey, we're racing here. I guess the cops don't realize it, and it takes about 20, 30 minutes, giving Tortellini time to do his victory speech. And then the cops show up. I'm like, oh, that was nice of them to fucking wait and until they were done. Also, I mentioned it's a good thing that Brian showed up so they could lose the cops. Then thankfully, they keep the cops off their tail under the incognito of 17 brightly painted crotch rocket motorcycles. Because if you're driving a car and there's 17 motorcycles around you, you are either A, the president, or B, someone that's involved in some sort of crime. So the cops would probably go straight for that car. And this is another thing, again, just kind of thinking of not specifically the movie, but the time. So it's amazing how what was hip and manly and tough in the 2000s became synonymous with gay identification over the next few years. And what I meant by that, specifically like the frosted tips, the chain necklaces, the tight leather shirts, the mesh tank tops. Like it's crazy how you think that like that used to be identified as you're a super cool, tough dude. And now it's very identified with the gay community. It was just,
well, we're even past that now.
But you know what I mean? I wonder if what's going to happen now in 20 years. They're like, oh man, now only gay dudes do that. But back in the day, everybody fucking did it. You know what I mean? It's so tight, that I was like,
tight pants. Tight
jeans.
I
haven't seen a lot of tight pants, but maybe there's tight pants. I don't know. Oh, okay. Everyone speaks slowly or speaks loudly or speaks like they're reading from a script. Nobody speaks like this normally. And I'm willing to bet that not even dude bros talk like this. The second one, Paul Walker gets a bit easier in the way that he talks with his dude bro linguistics.
Yes.
But in this one,
way better.
man. In this one, it's like, bro, are you really going to put that NOS engine 420 667 carburetor 95 instead of that Super GT yanked up polio vehicle? Bro, dude, yo, bro. The streets, bro, like the streets. I'm like,
And that
who the
was
fuck
cool.
speaks like
Those
this?
were cool people at the time.
I guess, but nobody speaks like that. Even those guys don't speak like that. It felt like very, okay, these car manufacturers paid for a good chunk of our movie. We've got to say it and make sure that people know what we're talking about in regards and in so they understand what we're referencing as well.
Nos,
So
nos,
it felt,
nos, 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 nos,
yeah,
nos.
it felt very forced, but I'm hoping that gets easier because by the second one, Paul Walker felt a bit easier with his role. Jordana Brewster suffers from Helen Hunt syndrome, which is the thinnest fucking lips imaginable. I could not take my eyes off it every time she's on screen.
I prefer that than the biggest lips possible, to be honest.
I prefer in the middle. Michelle Rodriguez is a very good looking girl, great lips, just very full lips, right? But then you go like the Angelina Jolie where the lips are inflated to look like a duck. I don't like that, but Jordana Brewster, she's a fine looking girl. She's an actress, not going to say whether she's a good or bad one, but in this one, she's just every time you see her,
she doesn't have big boobs. I don't know what you're saying.
Right? She
Robb,
disappeared to me.
Who have you become?
But it was unbelievable. I was just like, God damn it! I can't take my fucking eyes off her lips because they're so thin. Also, I kept on writing this quote down, and I'll not quote. I'm sorry. Comment, and I'll stop it hopefully by the third one. But the homoerotic overtones in this movie are through the fucking roof.
Oh, wait for the third one.
Oh man, because if you ever watch Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is commonly referred to as the gay Freddy because when you watch it, the lead protagonist of the movie was gay in real life, is gay in real life, and it was there's so much gay like what's the right, I don't want to call it homoeroticism, that's not what it is, like gay undertones, like almost like you get it type of things, like gay jokes that straight people wouldn't get. I guess they just expected straight people wouldn't get it, but you know, when there's a great movie, I believe it's called Scream for Me or the Scream Queen, and that guy is commonly referred to as the only male Scream Queen. It's a very interesting documentary. I'm not going to say it's very good. It's interesting to watch once if you're a big fan of the Freddy series. But that's what this kind of felt like. I was thinking to myself, there's no way that not at least one guy is getting the joke. And I think the one guy that's into the joke in the first one is Paul Walker. And in the second one, it's the black dude Ramon. I think Ramon is right in on the fucking joke. And that's why a lot of Ramon's dialogue is fucking terrible, but the way that he delivers it is fantastic. So I love how this entire movie is basically car porn. Like we have some awesome shots of cars and all the parts that go into cars, and then we cut.
Oh, well, let's on that note, the second movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The second movie was
insane.
I expected that. But I did like how we're in Dominic Tortellini's shop. We're looking at all these cars, all these parts are going to cars. They even have a fucking scene where all these car parts are laying on the fucking ground and the camera's pulling back, watching, almost like the Star Wars scroll, you know what I mean? All these parts on the ground. And then we cut to this 486 compact computer that he's got in the back where they've got a disk drive on their 10-inch CRT monitor. And he's putting the fucking floppy disk in to say, dude, this is all the stuff that I can do, bro. I'm going to make it, jazzed out with NOS and fucking with drag fins, bro.
Dude, you're like really smart at this stuff. You should go to college or something.
I can't concentrate, bro. But when I'm on cars, bro, it's like it's where I'm at. It's where I go, bro.
Dude, I get you.
And then, dude, I get you. And then
that was the scene. That we're done.
So, this is when I started messaging you, saying, okay.
You didn't talk about your day. Not talking about your children. Not talking about the moon. You got to talk to me about the stuff that we're talking about on the show. No, I'm not done. No, go on.
They start talking about an upcoming competition of all racers that are going to compete. Now, we have, I believe it's called NASCAR, great name. We have another one called the F1, the Indy 500. We have all these fantastic names. These fucking idiots come up with the name of this get together of all different races of people are going to come together and fight in the race wars. And once I heard that, I was like, I'm sorry, please say that again. And oh, they'll say it again. They'll say it about 600 fucking times.
I think that was like, they weren't even thinking that at the time. Like,
race wars. Dude, I'm going to beat you. A white dude talking to a black dude, or a black dude talking to a Chinese dude saying, I'm going to destroy you in the race wars. That is interpreted a lot fucking differently now than it was back in 2001.
oh yeah.
So anytime they said you're getting destroyed in the race wars, I was like, oh my God.
I
the
didn't even
cringe
clue
factor. I was like, holy fuck. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did, and again, it's obvious that it's a 14-year-old kid on a bunch of Red Bulls writing this script. How in the flying fuck could you think that race wars was a good thing? If it was all black dudes, all Chinese dudes, probably not a good idea to have all white dudes and call it race wars, but that might be a bit easier. I'm not saying good, but might be a bit easier to swallow. When it's multiracial, all mixed races, all genders, and you call it fucking race wars, that's not a good idea.
Nope. I immediately was like, oh, look, it's the Burning Man of cars.
I couldn't get past race wars. Once I heard race wars, I was like, this is some bullshit. So then this next part here.
Then they beat up a black kid. Oh wait, no, sorry, wrong race wars.
This right? It's a good thing there weren't any trees on the side of the lot, if you know what I'm saying. So this is me just babbling to my phone about the scene I'm watching.
Of course.
So, Dom is giving his backstory about his dad burning to death in a car, and he beat the shit out of the guy that crashed into his dad with a wrench. Dom says he lives his life a quarter mile at the time. Nothing else matters, not his team, not his house, not his business. Is this supposed to make us care about Dom?
Yes, because it's like, thanks, Dom.
Because if some guy sat down and tried to have a heart-to-heart with me about how he beat the shit and almost killed another human being for doing something that's possibly his job, and nothing matters in life except racing his car, I'm pretty sure I'd see him as a complete fucking psychopath. Because this guy that beat Dom's dad in this race was doing his fucking job. He's a race car driver in the race wars.
Well,
that's something his father needs to fucking deal with, that he needs to deal with.
It wasn't in the race wars. It was actually in an actual race, whatever, competition.
Okay, whatever, in a fucking race. He's a car racer.
And the racer was doing some underhanded shit that caused his dad to die.
What underhanded shit?
Oh, he bumped the bumper in a way that's like I think is illegal. I don't know.
But they're race car drivers.
He pushed him off so that he would crash. You're not. It's like if I was running next to you. If I was running next to you on a track, like running, not on a car, not in a car, not either. And I nudged you off, and you fell and broke your leg. That wouldn't be cool. That's not part of the race.
Yeah, that's not cool, but that doesn't mean that my son should go over and beat the shit out of you with a wrench within a fucking inch of your life.
I'm not saying that.
I think that's right. A bit too extreme.
I'm just saying he had issues because his dad died. I get it.
I guess.
And for a long time, he had to deal with that. And then eventually it got to him and he beat the guy up.
Okay. Well, still stupid. Also, one thing I totally forgot, Brian is the name of Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor. When we see Brian with Jordana Brewster in his bed, right? I guess they've just been, it's a post-coitus scene. I asked the question.
And pre-coitus as well.
Is Brian 13 years old? Because he sleeps on a single bed that doesn't look like it has any bed rails, and he's got posters of cars all over his bedroom.
Transformers.
Now I remember being a 13-year-old, and I had pictures of all the drummers that I thought were awesome and the bands that I fucking loved.
Wrestlers. That was anyway.
But the point is, when I was old enough to race cars and date Jordana Brewster, I didn't have those posters on my fucking wall.
Yeah. I had movie posters. Is that okay?
Movie posters are fine. Like my movie room, you can see behind me all the Star Wars garbage. But like, put up with thumbtacks next to my bed, I'm not going to have a picture of like Yoda. You know what I mean? That's
Lady
kind of
Gaga.
weird. Or maybe Princess Leia, slave Leia outfit. That's all
But then
right.
that would be the same. Anyway, go on.
That was a joke. I can see that it fell on deaf ears. All right,
Okay.
next one.
No, I just think you would actually have that.
In my bedroom of all places, right?
It's still.
So also, why is there a deadline in catching Toretto? If so, and the reason they try to force a deadline is because the truckers are arming themselves. So let's try to logically think. That is the fucking reason. That's what.
No,
I'm
just shaking my head
right.
because it's one of those things where when you're watching a movie and you're the average person, and I will consider I'm devil's advocate because like in this case I'm the average person in thought. I didn't think of those things.
Okay.
Those things like when they explain like, oh, this is the okay, sure, and then move on.
So if the truckers are arming themselves for a vigilante attack, since vigilantism is illegal, why wouldn't the cops just stop the fucking truckers if the cops know that they're about to gang up and be vigilantes?
You're never going to stop all the truckers. This is an international port where truckers have to take stuff from
But isn't it Dom
tankers.
Toretto's group? They're the only ones that are robbing shit?
I doubt it. I'm sure there's more than that.
But why then they're only after Dom Toretto? Why not be after the other fucking guys?
Because he's the major player. He's the one that they are undercover for. They have an in on this guy. Hopefully.
So many douchebags are at the race wars. When we get to the race wars, there's no way that YouTube is going to let this video be published with how often I'm saying race wars. And I mean it as the stupid car races in this Fast and Furious movie. So all these cars are peeling out at the race wars, and all these dipshits in the stands and on the side, like the pickers, are putting their fingers in their fucking ears. Do these dumb fucks not know that you could put fucking earplugs into your fucking ears?
I don't think they were that common. Like, I don't know because I was a kid back then, but
there's no way that at least one guy wasn't like, dude, earplugs, put earplugs in. That way you're not putting your fingers in your fucking ears every 2 seconds. They're going to be covered in grease. They might have gloves on, fucking earplugs.
It would be curious to look into. I'm not going to do it. But I would be curious to look into when it became a normal thing for those foam earplugs to come along. Because like, I'm sure there was cotton balls. I know that kind of idea was around, but I don't know if they had like the 3M foam to use yet.
But they had all sorts of shit that they could have used. I mean, people
like giant muffs, but who's going to do that's not cool, Rob.
Yeah, that's going to ruin his hair. Also, it cannot be overstated enough that you have Latinos, white people, black people, Asian people, all physically fighting with each other, getting into physical altercations now. Once Dom Tortellini fights with someone else at an organization with a big banner that says race wars. Like,
it was a different time.
You need to find this scene and put this up wherever it's going to be right now. They're all physically fighting, and there are fucking banners that say race wars. It was Hitler's wet dream to see that. I mean, he wouldn't have liked all the non-white people, but he would have loved seeing this scene from the movie where everybody's fighting and it says fucking race wars. Like, this belonged at the start of Triumph of the Will. So, Paul, and this is where I started having my one good thing about this movie. Paul Walker is acting his heart out. I will give him that. Everybody else is kind of half-assing it, but he really, really, really believes in it. And I think that's why maybe Vin Diesel was so saddened by the loss of Paul Walker, is throughout these movies, and even the second one, he's given his all. He is on board. He loves it, you know? And then again, this movie is aggressively heterosexual. Like, it is like, I'm not going to say it because I've only seen 2 of them, but I would bet $50 that a gay person never shows up in this franchise, because gay people aren't as cool as straight car people.
Oh, they will. If they haven't
maybe
already.
I don't know. I'd be surprised.
I don't remember.
But yeah, well, we've got fucking 19 other movies to watch, so why not? So Brian and Girl Toretto are going to stop Dom from stealing the truck. They're trying to get the GPS coordinates for Dom's phone. Why does Sister not just call Dom? Why does Vince take off his helmet when he is on the front of the truck? So the guy Vince is shot on front, he's on the front of the truck. First thing he does is pull his helmet off. If you're on a truck that's going 60 miles an hour and you're holding onto the grill on the outside of the front of the car, don't take off the protective equipment you're wearing is probably a good idea.
Also,
why is the trucker shooting at his own engine? Oh, he froze up for a second.
No, I was just gonna say you'd think racers would at least be clued in enough to wear seatbelts of some kind. They don't do it until the third movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say now and then you see one or two seatbelts. But okay, why is the trucker shooting at his own engine, trying to hit Vince?
Why is the trucker such a bad actor?
How did the trucker shoot out Dom's taillight when Dom was right beside him, reaching his fucking hand out like this?
Because it doesn't have to make sense.
Why do all these guys not have bulletproof glass if they knew that guns were a possibility from these goddamn truckers?
No one's gonna pony up for it.
If this trucker has a shotgun, why does he not stop his truck, wait for them to stop, let them get out, and then shoot them with his fucking shotgun?
That makes sense.
Why did Brian have to identify himself as a cop when he made the call when Vince fell on the ground and was all busted up and hurt?
Oh, because that's a normal thing where if you say that you're a cop, though, you'll get instant service. This is a normal thing.
Was why the hell couldn't he just call 911 saying he needed an ambulance with all the same stuff he said?
Because
leave out the part that
he wouldn't be able to order a airlift. He would only be able to get an ambulance there, and that guy needed an airlift. And the only person that can call an airlift is another ambulance for someone with the credentials.
Then why didn't he say that he used to fucking fly or he used to drive an ambulance? Why did he have to say he was a cop?
Well, you can't. Well, that would be lying.
Okay, that's the reason. Why the hell are all these people yelling at each other when they're right in front of each other? And this goes on into the second movie too. Stop yelling. You're right in front of each other.
Why do we do that to each other?
How did Dom's dad's car get out of the garage if Dom has never driven the car before? Dom said, "I'm too scared."
I was thinking that too.
And then in the scene, it's fucking outside of the garage.
Yes.
Why did Johnny Trans's gang kill Jesse? Are you thinking, or do you
because he stole the car? It's a matter of ethics. Not ethics. Ethics is out of the window.
Ethnic cleansing at the race wars.
Kind of. No, it's a matter of a point. Like they're making a point. You don't steal the car that you were supposed to give right away. Like don't do that.
Okay. All right. That makes sense then. How did Johnny Trans's gang know who Brian was?
I don't remember.
Does Dom want to destroy his dad's car by knocking Johnny Trans's gang off their bikes with it?
Yeah, I think at that point he just didn't care anymore. Like he just at that point it was take the car and do something with it, you know?
Is Dom ever going to change his bloody shirt?
No, he wears it in like the 7th movie.
Why are Dom and Brian racing now at the end of the movie when he's got his dad's fixed up car? And then where the hell is the truck that hit Dom? So Dom's car gets hit by a truck and then he rolls over and everything. And that truck's just gone. That was a hell of a hit and run where that guy is fucking left and Dom's destroyed car is laying there on the ground.
Would you stay?
And then that, I guess if I'd hit Dom Tortellini, I probably fucking run. But all right. I'm going to try to go faster with too stupid to be furious.
Can I start with my main points of the second one?
All right.
And these are the things that hit me. Starts off with really bad acting. Really, like extras are better than the side piece actors.
Like porn acting.
It's so weird how the extras are doing better than the side characters. Like the main acting was actually good. It was better than the first one.
Okay, I'll give it that. Better than the first
Paul
one. Not
Walker,
good, but better than the first one.
And
I think Paul
what's
Walker
his face?
got more. Tyrese, the black dude playing Ramon.
Yes. Those two did great job, but everybody else was really bad and like phoned it in. And then you'd have extras that worked harder than those people.
So here's my impression of an extra in this movie. So a car goes by, the extras are like,
yeah, every single one.
and you're like, calm down. And then when a car goes by and he's like, you know, Paul Walker, I can fuck you up. Oh, it was fucking so stupid, dude. There was one guy who went, oh, what the fuck is this? Look at the guy who's trying to fly away.
I love watching the dancing in movies like this, because you know they're dancing to nothing. If anyone doesn't know out there, most movies they don't have any music when there's like dancing, there's clubs or anything. I've been an extra in just a few movies, and one of them had a dancing scene, and it was just so weird watching people and being one of the people just to nothing.
It's like when you hear the outro music in our podcast, in our video, and you see like Phil and I dancing, there's no actual music there. We're just dancing all totally on our own.
Who would have thought? it's why Robb does his own music.
So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying what did you want to say again about the second one?
That's it. Keep going.
That was the only note that you had?
Those were the only two. That bothers me so much. How the side X. This is how much they cared about their movie. This is how much they want to put emphasis on just cars and being a bro
and girls.
Yeah.
This second one, they finally clued in enough to have a girl driver. Now she was worthless, but they finally clued in enough to have a girl driver. So all right, I'm going to fast and furiously go through my notes. The first one is stupid. This one takes the stupidity of the first one and ratchets it up to 11. Yeah. It starts with car porn, hot girls, bad music, everyone's dancing.
But it was a better movie.
Out of a 1990s PSA cartoon. Paul Walker looks like such a happy, vapid dummy that I can understand why he is the connection for a lot of people to this idiotic franchise. This is something that the first one didn't have. It had it, but the second one took it and ratcheted up to 11. The cars and everything, the clothes, the fucking stair equipment is so flamboyantly colored that
Welcome you feel to Miami, like bro.
And the acting is so bad, you feel like you're watching a Power Rangers episode. It's so badly acted. It's so fucking flamboyant. And another thing I like, so they're so confident that their audience is stupid. So they not stupid is the wrong word, but they know their audience isn't super
smart.
Yeah, there's a nicer way to say it, but I can't figure out where to find it right now. So the Spanish guy constantly speaks in Spanish, but the Asian people only ever speak in English. The Asian people never speak to each other in Chinese or Mandarin or Japanese. But the Spanish guy speaks to everyone in mixing Spanish and English. And I was like, yeah, because
they fix that in the next movie.
Do they? Okay, because I was like, your audience understands that Asian people might not speak English as their first language. It's possible, not a definite, but possible. And same with Spanish people and same with French people. But the Spanish guy, because he looks Spanish, you can make him speak Spanish. You know, it felt really stupid. So this is one part I had to talk about. They're having the racing, and then somebody decides to lift up a bridge because why not? Now they can jump over the bridge. Paul Walker jumps over the bridge and he's like, bro, yeah, bro, flying, bro, dude, or whatever he says. And then the Spanish guy flies over it. He's like, yeah, Spanish, español, like whatever he says something in Spanish. Then it comes the Asian girl. And I'm like, this will be interesting. I was literally like, dude, fucking like waiting to see what she would say at the screen. The token Asian girl hits her nitrous oxide button, goes flying over the bridge, and for absolutely no reason yells. Do you remember what she yelled out, Phil?
No, she had a catchphrase, but did she yell it out then?
She yelled out, smack that ass. And I'm like, what? Smack that ass is what they have.
Didn't she say that like multiple times? Wasn't that her catchphrase? Like she said it multiple
I
times
don't remember
while
her saying
driving.
it again, but I remember her yelling out, "Smack that ass," while jumping over a bridge, and I was like, okay, sure. And then James Remar uses a projectile tripod bazooka and shoots force lightning into a car to stop it. That's where I was like, yeah, we're there. Like, there wasn't a lot of reality anyway, but now we've just gone right over the cliff, like right over the
This
reality
was like
cliff.
a fork thing. Yeah, like a tripod, like you said, that just
And
goes right into the car.
It uses force lightning
and has
to make the car stop. And then one of the most
shorts out your car.
One of the most painfully obvious signs of poor acting and poor preparation in the movies. I don't know if you noticed this. None of the actors looked at each other's eye line, and they were never in each other's eye line. Like,
it was like that Batista movie, Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. But it was for this one. It was so obvious. Like they would be, instead of having them look at each other, they know they have two good-looking guys, so they want to have Paul Walker looking so you can see him. They want to have Ramon, his friend Razor Ramon. They want him to be. It's okay to have him in silhouette, but Paul Walker can't be in silhouette. So Razor Ramon is talking to him, like looking here, and Paul Walker's here, but it's like they're talking to each other.
It's like a theater presentation. Really
stupid. Also, I wrote down everybody in these movies are so cool that they are the coolest cool people in downtown Coolsville. These are also the toughest tough guys in the town of Tough Town, because when Verone, who's the main bad guy of number 2, says, all right, someone's got to go to my glove compartment to get what's in my glove compartment in my car that's in the stockade, or whatever the fuck, who cares? And all the guys that go out, they are fucking stereotypes of tough guys. There's like the Vinny tough guy, and there's the Chachi tough guy, and there's the Fonzie tough guy.
They really didn't go all out with the different characters in that one.
No, but it was stupid. Like it was just so stupid. So, but then they go and it's just a cigar.
This is another proof of concept of my previous comment that all the actors in this fucking movie are fucking. A word that you like to use, I think, vapid.
Vapid, yeah, absolutely vapid. Just nothing going on upstairs. But then see how you know that the toughest tough guys in Tough Town is they go to the car, they bring back the package that was in the glove compartment, and it's a cigar. And he's like, "You didn't think that I'd have my own car be
Wasn't
impounded?"
It the cutter?
Yeah, well, no, the cigar and the cutter. He hasn't together.
Oh, okay.
But it's stupid because he's a tough guy and he's a super cool guy. So why not? And then
it was the point of the matter. They were proving themselves.
I like how Ramon and Brian are driving at 6,000 miles per hour through all the boats, and they're saying cars. Remember when they're going to find Verone's car? They're going, where are
so many
cars?
boats.
So many boats. Where are the cars? Maybe if you stop going 6,000 miles per hour, you'd be able to see better about what's around you. Slow the fuck down.
It's an outdoor warehouse.
And then they find a red Ferrari that's right in the middle of. There's a whole bunch of other cars that have gotten away from it. Like somebody dropped fucking Dove into some water. All the other cars separated, and there's a single red Ferrari sitting right in the middle.
That was on purpose.
So they found the red Ferrari, and then I don't know if you noticed this part. For absolutely no reason, Rome takes his shirt off. He's just like, "Yo, damn," takes his shirt off.
Okay, he does it for a reason. You saw what the reason is. What did he do with the shirt?
Oh, because he punched the door in, or sorry, punched in the window.
You don't want to break the glass with your hand. You got to wrap it and then break it.
This guy is one of the toughest guys in Tough Town. You're telling me that he can't punch in a fucking window? I've got serious reservations.
Oh, you don't want to get
anything else in this fucking movie.
You don't want to get your hand all cut up.
He would never. That would never happen to him. He's too fucking tough.
Okay.
Also, the dialogue in this movie, masterful. I wrote down.
Yeah. They focused on lines between the two main characters, and then everything else is just like, okay, all right,
so
let's do it.
I love the constant dialogue when they're by themselves in their cars. So they're by themselves in their cars. Brian's in his, Razor Ramon is in his.
He's a black dude.
They're talking.
Razor Ramon is not a black dude.
Razor Ramon is what I'm calling this guy. So they're talking to each other.
I thought you were talking about one of the bad guys.
All right. Rome, he calls him. We'll call him Rome. Black Rome. So Black Rome and and
Why don't
Brian
you just call him by his real name?
Tyrone. Tyrese. So Tyrone.
Tyrone.
So
There you go.
Tyrone and Brian are in their separate cars, but they're like having dialogue with each other. They're like, and the stuff they say. So if you're at a gym and you're working out, these two guys need to be there with you, because when they're driving, they're like, "You got it, Rome. You got this, bro. You can do it, bro. You go, bro." And then Rome is in his car, and he's like, "You got it, Brian. Do it, Brian. You know it, baby. You go, buddy." Like they're talking to each other from two different fucking cars, and it was so fucking stupid. Stop talking and pay attention to the fucking road. Also, they know their audience is not smart. I won't say dumb, but I'll say not smart.
That's a theme, yeah.
In a movie about race cars, where I think every second piece of dialogue is about nitrous or NOx, they need to have a little button that says N2O above it. You can't just have a button because no one's going to know what that does.
That might be the car horn. You might get confused.
You need to have a button that has, somebody went to the dollar store and got a little piece of, like one of those little printers and put an N2O, printed it off, cut
it's
it.
Like those old printers.
The steering wheel.
Oh my goodness. It's
N2O. We're not going to know what it is because he presses it and then it goes through the whole car. And we see the NOS fucking spraying into the back. We see all that. But no. We've got to put N2O. No one's going to know what the fuck he's pressing. Also, what in the ever-loving fuck is happening with the dialogue in the Oasis party scene, where they're having a party and the black dude's like, "Yo, this is an Oasis talking about a Oasis, blang blang." It's so like, I had no words.
They do the same exact scene, slightly different in the next movie.
Okay, good. This movie is the bro equivalent to the term huzzahs and backslaps. So much high-fiving, so much congratulating each other. It's amazing. So they're at the Oasis, and Tyrone and Brian Walker are walking up to each other, and they're like, "Yo, dude, you got that car. You ran that car, bro. You got it, baby. You're so good at running that car, bro. You hit that nitrous right we needed. Bro, you're the only one I want doing this with me, bro. Tight. And they're like fucking fist bump. I had no words. I was just like, this is fucking, but by this time, I was cluing in a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is really stupid. Paul Walker is having a fucking ball. I'm going to have a ball along with him because this is fun. Next, the Mexican girlfriend, I don't even remember what her name is, Verone's girlfriend, who's an undercover DEA or CIA or something. She's known Paul Walker for collectively 15 minutes. I think she met him 2 days ago. And now she's risking her life to sneak onto his boat to tell him that Verone wants to kill him.
So this is basically the car version of James Bond.
Okay, so women just love him because
or Star Trek. The original.
Women didn't love Kirk. Women love to fuck Kirk, but they didn't love Kirk.
But they were immediately in.
It's a good point. Also, we see the next scene where they're probably getting ready for Race Wars 2. Everybody's working on their cars, right? So we see, I don't know this black actor. I believe he's a rapper, Ludacris.
Yeah.
You see him, and he's got like the coveralls on, that you would wear when you're working on a car. There's an Asian dude who's got a white tank top on. He's got big baggy pants. They come to the Asian girl, Suki. You finally find it as this girl's name. She is adjusting her tires and working on her engine dressed as a schoolgirl. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, I mean, that makes the most sense. You want to be
fine with that.
Yeah, dressed as a schoolgirl when you're working on your car.
When I work on my car, I wear the same thing. So.
Yeah, I dress as a schoolgirl. I wear a Speedo. It looks like I'm
lots of air.
Grapes.
Yeah.
But it did remind me of one time I went to, when we were in Toronto, my wife wanted me to go to this hairdresser. It was always the same hairdresser we always went to. I don't know why I went to a hairdresser when you can see my hair. It doesn't need anybody to dress it.
First choice is enough. That's all I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
So I went to this girl and she was talking about they need to get more guys coming in to dress, to do their hair. And she's like, so we were kind of thinking of having a sports day, and they're all gorgeous girls at this thing. She's like, we were kind of thinking
$5.
of,
That's how you get them in.
but she goes, we were kind of thinking about like having maybe a sports kind of day where it comes in, there's like sports and TVs and stuff all on. And I remember this was a hard subject to broach because I was like, look, I don't want to sound like a pig. Said, but you're all very attractive girls. I go, did you ever consider maybe a good way to get them would be to get guys to come in would be to, like maybe dress more provocatively. I said, I feel disgusting for saying it. Don't think that this is something I want. Because she was a nice girl. She was a wonderful girl, like great girl, great looking, but just really nice to talk to. And I said, but the first thing that comes to mind when I think like how a guy thinks, and I'm a pig, maybe if you dress more provocatively. I said,
look at sports bars, like,
right? Look at Hooters. Nobody goes to Hooters for the fucking food.
No one goes to Hooters anymore, but yeah, sports bar.
All right, I'm sorry. Whatever the new cool thing is that fucking kids go to, because Hooters is what old guys like me go to. But that was the one thing that it reminded me of that, where this girl is dressed as a schoolgirl to work on her. The idea of it is just so stupid, and I was like, it for some reason reminded me of that interaction.
I don't judge how women dress; they can dress however they like.
Absolutely, and I think that's absolutely true. But if you wanted to bring a bunch more heterosexual men into your establishment, I think that would be a good place to start. Dress a bit more provocatively. You're going to get more guys there. Now, the type of guys you may get there, maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't do it, because you don't get pigs like that.
Into this issue where you have to be very careful in terms of employment, because you can't, like, I know the sports bars and such and bars do turn down women that are not good
36,
looking.
24, 36.
Exactly. And we all know they do it. They don't get in trouble for it, but that they're all worried that they are going to get in trouble one day, especially with the current climate.
So Brian and Ramon have 3 scenes in the space of 7 minutes where they do the bro handshake. And when I say the bro handshake, I mean this. I mean the, bro, and then they pull their hands apart real fast, and then fist bump.
Yeah.
They do that 7 times in the space of 5. They do that 3 times in the space of 7 minutes. 3 different scenes.
That was a cool handshake back in the day.
And each scene has them. So we've got like a shot looking out of the water. Both actors come in from camera left, camera right. They're like, bro, it's going to be a hard race, bro. You can do it, bro. Yeah, bro. You can do it. Got it, bro. And then they separate. Then the next scene is them getting into their cars. Seeing their cars. You got this, bro? Got this, bro. We're going to be able to do it, bro. You know it, bro. Bro. Like, why did that have to happen 3 times? Was it padding for time? You know what I mean? These first 2 movies were fantastically short, but I see the next ones are like fucking 2 hours, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Like, holy fuck, how can a fucking car movie go this long?
Because they're cashing in on the fact that people will stay now that they've been hooked on the franchise.
Now, Brian and Ramon are throwing the money into the back of the race cars, and now the cops are showing up. I wonder what's going to happen in the next scene. Could it be that those race cars are going to peel out and the cops are going to have to chase those race cars? Also, why so many constant shots of the speedometer? I understand how acceleration works in a car, and these fast cars, I'm going to assume, can go very fast. You don't need to show me the speedometer that the cars are going fast. I can put it together on my own that they're going fast. Is the reason they're showing the speedometer to say, dude, bro, look how fast these cars are going, bro?
Yeah, I think it's for the car guys.
Okay.
They want to see all these aspects.
So this film ends with Tyrone and Paul Walker going into a garage, and then something inside the garage, and then all the doors of the garage, all the cops come, and they're at the front of the garage. They're like,
the best scene of the movie.
Come out of there. And then the doors open, and then like 12 big F-350s come out and just fucking crunch over these cop cars. And I like that. I'm not a truck guy, and I know anything about them, but I prefer trucks to cars. So that's why I drive a Prius, because I really love power.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Real hardcore power.
This Prius is a truck.
Exactly, right. And that little Toyota mini car, that little, looks like a little Lego car. Got one of those. They're super, super strong. I can pull easily a bag of feathers.
I saw your van the
But-
other day, so
So and you can see like trucker for life on the back of it. So all these trucks come out, run
They're
over all the
trucks.
cop cars. That's fine. But then the next scene is, I want to say 600 cars just start
so many.
spewing
I don't know where they
out of
came
this
from.
garage. And I'm like, where the fuck did all these cars come from? And not to mention, it was like a drive-in parking lot, because they're all very organized, and they're getting out to that one exit over on the corner. Like, where did all these cars come from? And how are they all easily getting out? This is fucked. This makes no sense.
But it was
And I was like-
beautiful. It was a wonderful scene. It was good to watch. Come on.
And I was like, okay. By this time, I was like, all right, I'm 50% on board with these movies. Like, I can watch them, and I'm never going to watch these movies ever again. So that's one thing.
Are you getting to the end scene?
I am.
Because there's something I have to point out, but go on.
Once they get to the end, and I'm like, this movie's kind of stupid. Like, it's going to have the bad guy, good guy, shoot, somebody gets killed, don't care. So what happens is they see Verone on his boat, and it's Tyrone and Brian Walker. They're in their car, Supra, whatever the fuck it is, Ferrari, who cares? And they're like, bro, are you gonna do this, bro? And
Is
like, bro,
this
we gotta do it,
after?
bro?
Is this after or before the train?
Oh, this is after the train. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry. You speak about the trains. I've been talking for too long.
The train thing was just like right after the big cars go everywhere scene, and they
Car
go
spewing.
down this mile
Road.
stretch, whatever it is, and they have to, what was it, beat the train or something?
They have to beat the train because they have a bunch of Verone's guys behind them that are going to kill him.
Yeah, so this bothered me so much because they kept on doing these really bad slow-mo shots. Did you notice this?
Yep.
It's not even good slow-mo. It was like this like agitated slow-mo, and it was just like
It was
the only time it's in the movie. No, it's not even digital snow, but it was, yes. But it was like they did a weird effect to it and everything. And it was just like,
yep.
This takes me completely out of the movie because I just want to rip out my eyeballs.
Not to mention that you've just had an hour and a half of racing. There's a train coming with racing cars. And you're like, what?
Like, what they wanted to do, I get, but they could have done it differently, and it was like regular slow-mo or even a natural digital slow-mo. But the way they did it it looks like they were high or something. And
I don't think there was a chance in hell of them doing something well. It was just shitty.
This just bothered me. But go on.
So at the end, they're like, bro, we got to do this, bro. Let's do it, bro. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way they're going to do what I think they're going to do. And they fucking pedal to the metal. They fly the fucking car off a ramp that's, of course, there because everything has a ramp.
Yeah.
And the car sails in the air and smashes down on this fucking boat. As soon as that happened, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get why people might like these stupid movies. Or sorry, why I might like.
And they didn't even try hard on this stunt. They didn't. Nope. They didn't do the stunt at all. They just did cars go up to the thing, okay, and then the next thing is like, boom, cars there.
But
there's no movement.
No, there was the digital background of them going whoa, flying through the air. What I like though is it's not. It just kind of goes clunk down on the fucking boat.
It does. There's no stunt
right onto the boat.
There's no stunt at all. They just put like little fireworks in the back. Like,
I was like,
they had a pre-made boat with the car in it, and that's it.
I was like, okay, I can get on board with this dumb shit. This is stupid. I can get on board with this.
It was fun though.
Yeah, and then they get out and they shoot Verone, and who cares?
Yeah,
and then
it's the trademark easy kill of the bad guy.
Yeah, and then Tyrone and Brian Walker, they're like, yo, too bad we had to give that money back. Yo, we didn't give it back all that money, bro. Damn. bro, fist bump, and then the movie's over.
Yeah, they stole
So
money.
the second one definitely better than the first one. Uh, just
Yes.
stupid, like so
Stupid,
much.
but
I enjoyed myself. I'm never going to watch it again, but I enjoyed myself enough. I'm told that even by a coworker of mine that the third one is the worst one of the series.
it has a special place in people's hearts, and I get why. We'll talk about it next week, but it's just you're gonna hate it.
Oh, I know I'm going to hate
it. But it's a good example of them starting to really catch on to let's focus on the cars and let's focus on the action. But
more so than the other two.
I'd say a little bit more.
Wow, didn't think that was possible, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Then they made a movie where the cars actually talk, and that's called Transformers.
Same movie. Well, wasn't there a rumor or something going around that they're wanting to do a Transformers cross Fast and the Furious movie?
They fucking absolutely should. I think it'd be fucking great.
I think it would be awesome. I like it, they're like, oh, I just every time I think about Vin Diesel interacting with Optimus Prime or Bumblebee, I just like, oh my god, my mind blows. It's gonna be hilarious.
His voice is Jesus Christ. Like his voice is something else. As Dominic Tortellini, he watched my father die. I'm like, oh, he's so slow when he speaks, and I understand that maybe that's how the guy speaks normally. But Jesus Christ, like, dude, fucking speed up. You're in a movie about fast fucking cars. Speak fucking faster.
So slowly you're getting into this, and I told you that I watched the third one yesterday. Surprised you with that one. So
I'll have to watch the third one and the fourth one.
Yeah, you're gonna watch the third one this week, along with two other movies.
Oh, so I'm not gonna watch the fourth one? Bummer.
I think we're gonna wait. We could fit it in. We could fit it in, but there's two other movies.
We got two other movies.
There's a big one
that we hope aren't going to leave fucking Netflix by the time.
No, this one's not even on Netflix.
Oh, nice. It's not the Tomorrow War, is it?
Black Widow.
Oh, nice. That comes out.
That comes out like tomorrow. No, Friday.
Oh,
if they don't all of a sudden go, we're not going to put it on digital.
Scarlett Johansson in tight leather.
It's on Disney Plus Premium. You know what that means.
That's right.
And the other one is a Netflix title, How I Became a Superhero.
Is it a show or a movie?
I believe it's a movie.
All right. Better have tits in it. Because at least we know Black Widow's going to have tits in it.
Tokyo Drift in those two. And if you decide to do the fourth movie, you have to let me know because my wife really wants to watch it this week. So
this will be enough, and that way we'll have 4, 5. Yeah, because that way we can have on the next show we can have 4, 5, then the next show 6, 7, and then the next show 8, 9.
On we already have stuff like episode 23 is going to have Fast and Furious.
Which one's Fast and Furious?
The fourth one. Funny enough, the first one is The Fast and the Furious.
What's the 9th one called?
The fourth
F9,
one,
right?
The fourth one is called Fast and Furious. Stupid naming convention. Stupid.
Fast 5. And the sixth one, see if I remember, is called. I don't know what the sixth one is.
I don't even know. I know they like to do funny naming conventions.
I know the 8th one is The Fate of the Furious, and the 9th one is F9.
I was saying to my wife, I hope the 10th one, the one after this one, is called Fast 10 Your Seatbelt.
See, I think it should be called F10 Refresher, because F10 is the refresh key.
Oh,
right.
It'll just be like them in digital environments. Oh wait, that's what they do anyway.
And then you see a guy in a computer like F10.
So
that works.
To recap,
I don't have F10 on my keyboard because I'm on a Mac.
For the fans out there, all three of you, Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift, Black Widow, and How I Became a Superhero. I keep saying that weird. Superhero.
Also, I will say that I haven't read it, but Phil gave me the general gist of it. That some guy had a huge tirade against me and hated me and stuff I say and stuff on Reddit.
For a
Now, one thing I
personal
will
reason.
say, in all
For
personal,
yeah.
Yeah, for personal reasons. Now, one thing I will say, and this is in absolute honesty. I was going to do it at the start, but I didn't want to bring anybody down. So in absolute honesty,
We still have 1 minute of the show we can do, so go on.
I am the type of person that ever since I was a kid, because of my upbringing and how it had some negative things in it, I've always used sarcasm as kind of a shield. So whenever I'm being outlandish or sarcastic or goofy, that's always just kind of a charade. And I think a significant amount of people are like that. Nobody actually wishes anybody else got cancer. You know what I mean? Nobody ever wishes that I hope that guy walks in front of a train and gets obliterated before his wife can spit out their first kid. Nobody is actually, if somebody is that mean, then they're a psychopath. They have serious problems.
I think we all do this. We all say like, "Oh, that guy cut me off. I hope he dies in a fire."
That's right. It's a great coping mechanism.
I don't hope that on that guy. So,
if you take that seriously when someone says that, I think that's more. One, it's good that you, if that person was saying stuff like that, but if someone was saying something like that, and you're like, you know what, that person might have some problems. That's good to do something like that. But if I think I'm a relatively normal person, I think from you and I speaking and doing this show together, I'm a relatively normal person. I don't wish anybody to get cancer. It's it's uneven ground.
Those damn garbage people.
My point is, I'm glad that you brought up all the things that you brought up. Again, I didn't read them. I never will. I never go back and read feedback people have about me because I don't care. And when I say I don't care, this is the other thing, sorry, that I want to get into, and I don't want to go on too long. When I say I don't care, I mean that anybody's opinion of me, besides the people that matter the most to me, does not matter. And I wanted to bring this up because I think it's an important lesson for people to learn.
To an extent.
I don't know about that. I think
you care what the viewers say in general. Like you want them to comment and have a discussion with you, and you care what they say and you care what they think. Yep. But if it's negative and you don't agree with it, then you just meh.
Also, if someone says I hate you, like to me, if someone was towards me saying your opinion is wrong, your opinion is dog shit, I hate you, I hope you die, that is not going to make my day any worse. Right? Sign mom. But those aren't going to ever, if anyone doesn't like you, never let your own self-worth be based on what people who are on the internet, who you will never meet in your entire life, even if it's people you do know, never let other people's opinions shape what you think of yourself. You know, that is the most important. If there's any important thing I ever wanted to imbibe to my children, to my friends, to my family, never, ever, ever let other people's opinions of you define who you are. Define who you are for yourself, and you'll find that anybody who doesn't like you or doesn't agree with you or outright just fucking hates you, they will never matter. And if that person wants to, come back and say other bad shit about me, they want to say good shit about me, that's fantastic. That person wants to have a conversation with me, that's fantastic. But just know that any bad shit that you ever say about me will not hurt my feelings. And anyone out there, it shouldn't hurt your feelings either. That's what the one thing I wanted to get across.
And I've tried to hurt his feelings many times. It doesn't work.
True.
So just
you can call me fat, you can call me old, you can call me all sorts of things. Never. That's the one. And it's funny. My sister is the complete opposite. And even my wife is the complete opposite. I never developed that part of my brain where you can say bad shit about me. My wife likes to think that I don't have that part of your brain that says, stop talking now. You said it, it's perfect. And I go a bit further over. She's like, you don't have that part of your brain that says to stop. But I never developed that part of my brain where I was like, bad things people say about me hurt my feelings.
Keep in mind, everyone doesn't have a certain part of their brain that does certain things. Like for me, memory has become a big issue. For you, that, I guess.
That thing, I don't remember what you'd said.
That along with other things, you know. I know you have problems, whatever.
Again, everybody, I hope that everybody brings it up on Reddit. Everybody brings it up on our website, wherever.
I think it's obvious that that when you you're pretty much joking in those moments, that you're satirical. You're just like, yeah, like I'm taking my aggression out on just ranting, and it's not like you go on the next hour while you're doing your puzzle in the background there and go, I want that guy to have cancer, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not bad
I'm
at
at my
all.
window when he's collecting my garbage going, cancer.
Dude's gonna count how many times we said cancer and get really mad at us.
Cancer and race wars.
At-
We're gonna be
at the
fucking
end of the day-
thrown off of YouTube.
At the end of the day, and I don't want to say that person's an asshole or anything. Okay, that's not what we're saying. We're just saying, we're trying to relay to you, that person and others that might take that personally. We're the type of people, hosts, whatever, that do that kind of comedy.
Yep.
And we don't mean it. It's not to the extent of like Kramer, what's his face, where he meant to say bad things, you know?
Oh fuck yeah! I know who you're talking about. The actor who played Kramer's name escapes me right now.
But it's not like we're saying someone's the N-word or anything like that. It's not anything ill aimed, like we're not trying to say the garbage people are assholes, because we would go out there and shake their hand in a minute notice, as long as they're doing a good job.
Well, you know what? I think it in me, it's always been very obvious that I've never had, never will, and I don't like to be friends with people who do. I'll never have a racist bone in my body, and I think part of the way that people can tell that I'm not a racist person is whenever I say, you know, these garbage guys, fucking idiots, or the recycling guys, idiots. I've never once mentioned their color, never once mentioned their gender. Like, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And when you're making a joke, especially when you're being sarcastic, or when you're just ranting, what you rant about makes it painfully obvious what your troubles are in your life and who you really dislike. So if I had said, you know, I hope these you know, these black jerks, or I think these scumbag women get cancer, that reveals something far more obvious about your personality. You know, so I like to think in that I'm not racist. I'm a little bit sexist, but I think every gender is a little bit sexist to their own opinion, but that's just my opinion. But all I'm saying is, if you want to talk to us on Reddit, if you want to say bad things, say good things, either way is fine, and that's great. But for everyone out there, anyone who's listening who might sometimes shape their opinion of themselves by what other people say about them, never ever do that. Yeah, you're better than that.
It's like when you go out and you worry about what you're dressed in, and then like, how many times do you look at a person and judge them, and then like 5 seconds later you're just like, I don't even remember what I was thinking. Like,
yep. As a person that's covered in tattoos, I get that a lot. Yeah. But again, another thing, just doesn't matter, man.
With all the swastikas on my back, you know.
No, I bet you know that huge penis tattoo that I have on my back. That's the one that most people look at, and they're like, "Why do you have a big penis tattooed in your back?" I'm like, you're a big penis.
Oh, that was a tattoo. I thought that was your actual folded back.
I just looped it around.
All right, over
my shoulder,
like a continental soldier. On that note. Thanks for tuning in. Do your outro.
Oh, goodbye, everybody. Is that my outro? No. Thanks for listening to NetflixWeekly.com. You can find us at Reddit, which is the most common place to find us. Phil is on Facebook and Twitter. And,
I'm on everything.
We're both on Instagram.
The Phil Online.
And the PhilOnline.com.
But NetflixWeekly.com is the main thing. You can go to all the links from there.
That's right. And email us at NetflixWeekly.com. Preferably nude pictures. You know, or send us nudes on Instagram.
I like chow mein or pho.
As nudes? Oh, nudes. I get it. I thought you were talking about maybe some Asian porn actresses or Asian nude models that I didn't know named chow mein or pho. And
I wasn't at all enticed by that Asian chick. What's her name?
Suki. There a lot of the women.
She looked Caucasian at first.
Yeah.
And then I got it, and I was like, she's just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, there's a real, and maybe it's just because I'm not the type of guy that's into cars or into the types of girls that would be into guys or into cars. But yeah, I found the women attractive, but not sexy in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like you watch something like Mad Men, at least for me, and maybe this is, speaking about the type of women that I like, but I watch something like Mad Men. The women on that show are just, they're gorgeous. They're very sexual. They're just like, these are women that I'm like, God damn, these are hot women. This one, really good looking women, but there's something about them that I'm like,
There's something
not
about
attracted to it.
Hollywood type looks, like the what they deem the amazing whatever, and I'm just like, I'm not into that. Like I like that girl from Katla.
Yeah. Yep.
She was very plain
Asha.
Jane. Yeah. And
Or
I was like,
her sister, who I cannot remember her sister's name.
she was good looking too. So yeah. All
Yeah,
right, that was the outro.
Oh right, goddamn it. Oh yeah, outro. Email us.
No, that was
message
it.
us and all that stuff. All right, so for Netflix Weekly, I have been Rob.
Again, I'm Phil.
Goodbye, everybody. Dun, 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 dun.